Hi folks, Tom Goodwin here, Assistant Curator at the Owl's Head Transportation Museum. After our unsuccessful attempt to just drive a Model T, we decided we needed some context in order to, care. So we're going back to the beginning, to a time before Henry Ford's success. A time when smartphones were boring because they didn't exist. To a time when America was younger than it is now because that's just how time works. So let's get to work. I'd like to introduce Rob Verbsky, the curator at the Owl's Head Transportation Museum. So Rob, would you say that you have a history with history?
Yes.
Was the Model T the first car?
Nope.
But it was the second car?
Nope.
Why not?
The Benz motor wagon was the first car. It was patented in 1886.
So Henry Ford had nothing to do with the first car.
Correct.
But he had everything to do with the first Model T.
And the rest of them. There were over 15 million Model Ts made in about 20 years.
Okay. Let me rephrase the question so that you answer better. Why was Henry Ford as in, what happened there?
Henry Ford is like many other young men in the late 1800s. He grew up on a farm in Michigan, but was more of a tinkerer, playing with watches and tools and things like that. When he became an adult, he moved to the city. He was living in Detroit, working for Thomas Edison. It's there that he earns enough money that he can take up the hobby of building automobiles. That hobby turned into something more, and he founded what became Ford Motor Company. One of his first employees was Child Harold Wills. You still see his work today because, among other things, he designed the first Ford emblem that you see on cars today.
So you're saying this great American success was designed by a child?
No, Child was his first name.
Well, that's just lazy parenting.
Why don't you go talk to Warren? He's our conservator of our collection cars and knows a whole lot about Model Ts. And I bet he's wondering who was messing around with one of ours.
I tried to steal a Model T the other day.
I've heard that. You didn't make out too well.
It didn't go.
And I'm not surprised.
Touché. So tell me, Warren, is driving a Model T like riding a bike?
In the muscle memory department, I would say yes. In the balance department, I'd say no, because you have 2 extra wheels.
I meant, do you have to pedal it? Why is it that years into the 21st century, anyone would want to drive a Model T?
Well, there's that personal challenge.
Like,
There's the history of the car.
car with windows,
There is that sense of going slow rather than fast.
air conditioning,
Trying to see the world as it was 100 years ago.
a radio.
Are you done?
Yes. Sorry.
I like looking through the windshield of a Model T, and it kind of gives you a sense of what it might have been like to be driving around in 1910 to 1915. Nowadays, you have the camaraderie of other Model T drivers. There are large clubs, and to end up a full day of driving a Model T, you have a tired satisfaction of having beat the odds.
It turns out that early automobiles are just like the ones today. I mean, they have 4 wheels, right? We also learned that Carl Benz created the first patented automobile. Why would Ford name his first car Benz?
Carl Benz named the first car Benz.
Why was Benz naming Ford's first car?
It was Carl Benz's car.
And that he didn't name it after Henry Ford because it wasn't Ford's car. But Ford did name the Model T after himself, Henry. Next time, we're going to ask bigger questions with more words in them. It's time to get to the bottom of what made the Model T stand out from other cars of that era.